I think Call of Duty's in a tough spot, man. I think Warzone specifically, the only thing that they can do is just give it time, because everybody in the chat, everybody on Twitter that I read, all the YouTube comments, everybody just constantly
it's always just we want Verdansk back.
This current game to 2020 quarantine COD. And I think it's just like they're never gonna win. You will never win if you're gonna compare it to those times. You were forced to be inside. I don't think a lot of people understand that though. Like,
yep, he's not wrong. What made that year of Warzone, like, sure, it was a great year of Warzone by all means. Like, it was still fundamentally and just legitimately overall better than what we've got now. But the fact being indoors literally 24/7, you had no choice. All the homies were online, dude. If you didn't take advantage of that year, which I feel like I really should have taken more advantage of that year, you missed out. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the most fundamentally insane years for just human history as a whole, for one. But two, everybody was online. Nobody had anything else to do. You know, people had online classes, but they weren't paying attention to them. You know, there was no other way to go about that than being indoors and playing games with the homies. No other way. Literally no other way. So he's not wrong. Like the indoors part played a massive factor in Warzone 1's success.
They just compared the two, but bro, they were forced inside their homes. They couldn't do anything else but play the game and tune into our streams. I mean, everything was just drastically inflated, drastically. A whole different, I mean, just wildly, right? Like, if you're going to compare the game to that time, it's just going to be a loss. That's like me comparing every stream that I turn on to those streams. I mean, I would turn on my stream, and before I even had my camera on, I would have like 20-something thousand people in here. Before I even turn on my camera. I mean, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it was for back in me in the day. Not 20,000, but I would be able to pop my stream on. We're sitting at a crisp, you know, like 7 to 20 viewers on Twitch consistently. It was an entirely different era. It made a difference. It made an absolutely massive difference compared to what we got now. Now we've been through the motions. We've all played our fair share of Warzones. We've seen what's better, and gaming is kind of reaching a point where it's a little stale again. You could still even play Blackout back then too. So it's like overall, COD BR wise, there was a lot of stuff kind of going on at the same time that made the success of Warzone 1 possible. Same with Modern Warfare 2019. Because the game is ass. No matter what people tell me, MW19 is ass. It's one of the worst CODs I've ever played in my life. But because of quarantine,
hey, listen, there's a couple additions that they've made. Like, I don't think the map is as good. I don't think the guns are as good. I think that they're going in a direction with guns and attachments that most people don't like. But then again, I don't know. Because half of you nerds play Tarkov too. And you love that shit. You love your backpack with 100 different fucking things and your tape and your flashlight and all this corny shit. You like that. I don't know why you like that, but you like that. So they're trying to do like the best of both worlds, possibly. Because I can't stand having to put 10 attachments on my gun and tune every attachment. I think it's so stupid. I
agree. I respect trying something new with customization before. If anybody's going to watch this, I don't dislike the fact that they're trying something new, but this, in my opinion, is not a good one. Because, to be fair, a lot of people don't want to play with just the worst version of their gun possible. Even in older Call of Duties, people still, for the most part, tried to kind of play with the best gun, but guns also weren't universally just horrid if you didn't have the exact right, like, attachment, tuning, setup. It was just simple red dot, grip, quick draw. Like, you didn't have to put too much thought into it. You could really make kind of any gun universally work. But in these Call of Duties, if you don't put the right specific grip out of 70 on, you're going to notice a vast difference in your recoil control, your accuracy, your ADS speed, and then on top of the fact that you have to tune them to a very specific decibel amount to make sure that you get the best of the gun. It's cool, but I think it's just trying a little too much. I like the simplicity that Warzone 1 had, and I'm not a fan of Gunsmith, but the simplicity that Warzone had, while it was kind of obnoxious that it gave you so many attachments, that was still better than having to tune every single individual attachment. I don't like that. I don't like that part. I can deal with the Gunsmith. We've had it for years, and it's not going anywhere. But the whole shooting part, I've always personally found lame. I think it's corny.
The days where it was easy, like maybe 2 or 3 attachments, maybe. I miss just booting up with a fucking ACR, booting up with an MP5. I can't stand the way they do it now. So I agree. There's changes that they've made where we might not all agree, but there's changes that they've made from Warzone 1 to 2 where it's like, you know, it's not that great. But even if they made a perfect game, like a perfect fucking game, and everything was exactly the way that everybody wanted to, which is impossible. But even if they did that, it would never amount to the first one because of the timeline. It was just so different. It would never amount. Why would they not just bring Verdansk back and make updates from there? You know, I really don't know. I think that would have made a lot of people happy. And I think that if I was under the gun and I was the one doing the decisions over there, I think I would have tried to go back and create the same 2025.
What they should have done is just have a rotating map. Nobody wanted an entirely new game. I'm going to assume they wanted to switch over to make a new game because maybe there was just too much spaghetti code kind of going on with Warzone 1. But then we got Warzone 2 right now, which still apparently has a lot of spaghetti code kind of going on. So it's like we got all the flaws of Warzone 1, from the bugs to the hackers to the plethora of glitches the game has, but kind of none of the benefits, you know? I don't know, man. Like I feel like most BRs, and this is the problem with Call of Duty, they need to keep making new stuff in order to quote unquote, you know, keep player retention. Most games like Apex, Fortnite, they didn't make a new game. They updated their games heavily. Look at Fortnite. Like they went with all the crazy updated chapters and stuff they did to the game. Like, it's one thing if you just keep updating a new game and reworking it. I think that's what Call of Duty needs to start doing. And that's what I was hoping with MW2 that was going to be the case. You know, we're going to have our first ever 2-year Call of Duty. That gives them time to work at the issues, and then maybe the next year will be even better, or might be, you know, one of the best seasons of Call of Duty we ever had. Come time for this Call of Duty to come out and it's terrible, and it's like, well, we'll just make a new one. Why not stay and just refine the game, fix it, make it better? Because now people are already not hyped for the current game, but they're not really going to be that much more hyped for the new one. And I guess the logic there is like, they make this current game shitty and just leave it in that state, and then people will get hyped and buy the next one. We're just literally a statistic. We're not an actual, what you would call it, a consumer or a customer. We're just a statistic. They don't really care.
I think I would have. Definitely.
But they should have rotating maps.
I don't know if it would have been the same. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about this the other day on stream. Like, chat, you think your own specific life, like, you think back to the best times. If you and those same people go back and try to do them again, isn't it different now? It's still different.
It's not gonna hit the same.
You're trying to do the same thing, but it's different. Times have changed. People have aged. Your mind has changed. Your body has changed. Your relations have changed. But it just doesn't matter, man. The state of the game is just in a tough spot. You guys see this? They're adding a new map.
That's right. We are getting a new map. Vondel.
Okay. It might be in the snow and shit. That might be kind of fire, actually. Man, thank you for the research. I'm kind of ready.
Vondel is a cool name.
I hate this. I fucking hate this map. I do not like this map at all. Fondle these nuts.
I agree. I don't like this map. Way too big. It's just desert and dust and dry colors. Verdansk really wasn't that much more colorful, but it was just the right amount of size. And I honestly don't even think Caldera was that bad, but I think the World War II aesthetic is boring. I'm tired of World War II. I don't want to do anything related, pretty much in Call of Duty, at least, to World War II. That wasn't fun. I hated Caldera just because I was tired of the World War II aesthetic. We already had World War II with Kyle World War II, and then we went back to it in Vanguard, and it wasn't entertaining to look at. It's just not a very colorful, interesting thing to look at. I'm tired of World War II in Call of Duty, and I hope we don't go back to it ever. But in terms of Al Mazrah, it just being sand and gray, I agree. I don't like it. That's half the reason why I don't even play Al Mazrah. Not that Ashika is any better. Ashika is arguably worse because that whole map is just gray. I don't understand what the obsession with just gray, dreary, depressing colors. I don't know, man. It's a tough call. Like, I feel like the map, like, layout-wise isn't terrible, but I do think it's just a tad too big. But I also think that the colors on it are just not fun to look at. Like, when I'm jumping out of that plane and all I see is just sand, I understand why Anakin / Darth Vader hated it.
Vondel. Really, I think it's pretty well done. 69,000 times better than Caldera.
Fortune's
I
Keep was
like
S
the
tier.
look of Caldera, but just the map didn't play out as good as it needed to. You know what I mean? But I like that islandy look. I kind of like SP. Love Storm Point, but they got to make a better map.
Yeah, I think the island look of Caldera was not bad. I just did not like the World War II buildings and guns and shit. I got tired of that.
Probably too open. Yeah. Too open, and also like maybe too up and down. My perspective on cheating though is it's gone way, way down. It's gone way down. I mean, I don't even see close.
The cheaters even hate this game.
I did maybe two or 3 years ago. You raged so hard so many times. Easy. People are so critical of my attitude and even of my decision to go to Apex and play a different game, but they just weren't in my shoes, man. I mean, if you were in my stream every day, all day, which I know a lot of people are, then they can get a good feel as to how annoying that shit actually was. But if you're not, I mean, listen, a lot of you guys can't tune in the whole day, so I totally understand. But like, bro, imagine getting online for 10 hours, 8 hours a day, every day, and just getting cheated on the whole fucking time.
The cheating at Warzone 1 was insane. I've rarely ran into cheaters in Warzone and in multiplayer, to be frank, but I also don't grind out 8 to 10 hour sessions anymore either. But I think the cheaters also don't like the game either, so they just don't play it. Call of Duty is so down bad that streamers are losing weight and cheaters aren't cheating anymore. They got bored. But I don't know, man. I think cheating is definitely still a big problem, especially in like the top like Crimson, iridescent Crimson areas of multiplayer ranked and Warzone ranked, I want to assume. But it's still bad. But Warzone 1 was a different beast, my guy. You got cheaters every single goddamn game. It was bad.
Man. And then I was playing tournaments too. Listen, man, you guys know I'm a competitive guy, bro. I'm super competitive. I mean, I had tournament wins in the bag. I was going to win the tournament.
Is that Nick right there?
I mean, and it happened so many times that like I literally was begging Call of Duty and Activision like, yo, get a fucking anti-cheat that works, man. I can't play this goddamn game, you know, and it just wasn't happening. So I got pushed away from the game. And I stand by all those things that I said. I stand by all those things. And when you're playing something like this and you're that invested into it, you should be critical and you should have some thoughts. These are totally things that should happen. I may have crossed the line a couple of times here and there in some people's books, but that's okay. I mean, they can eat my ass. You know, I'm not going to cry about it.
You can't make everybody happy, and you can't just suck up to everybody either. Like, fuck them. If they don't like your opinion, well, too bad. Like, it is what it is. But it runs in that same weird era of people saying that Call of Duty players can never be satisfied. I think this year is the first time in like years where I could genuinely say like we people kind of deserve not to be satisfied this year. The gameplay is kind of whatever. Some people are going to like the slower paced gameplay, but I don't know, man. Everything just fundamentally feels like a downgrade. Like going from Warzone 1 to this and not being able to transfer like your skins over and all that shit to the weird like gameplay shift. I don't know. It's just too much. I don't miss slide canceling. This is not a video about slide canceling. This is not a reaction about slide canceling. I don't really care about that. The game just fundamentally does not feel good. It feels like you have like bricks attached to your feet. I wish you just ran a little quicker. You ADS a little quicker. You move just a little quicker. You don't need to slide cancel, but damn. Can my tactical sprint just be my regular sprint? Why is it that I run 2 feet and then my character just is huffing, you know? Some are going to say, well, he's a soldier. Hey, come on, it's a video game. Call of Duty's never abided by the laws of physics. And them trying to abide by the laws of reality is why people don't like the game. They like Call of Duty, not whatever this is, you know. And obviously some people are going to like that. More power to them, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel coddish. It just feels weird. Even older Call of Duties, even the ones where you had like limited sprinting, still felt faster than this game. Because at least your strafing was there. Like, why you didn't run super quick? You had fast strafe speed, you had fast ADS speed. There were still movement mechanics to the game that made it play and feel smooth. Now you can't even run around the map because people are sound whoring everywhere. And some people don't like the phrase sound whoring. It doesn't mean just listening with your headset. It means literally sitting in a corner and just hardcore listening for somebody's footsteps. Like, just that's the only thing you do the whole game. You don't do anything. You just sit in the corner. Your headset cranked to max, and you're just waiting for a person. Some people could argue, well, just crouch walk, slow down. Like, I've seen team deathmatch games, 100 kills, go to time, and we're only like 70, 60, because you can't find any fucking body. That's not enjoyable. That's not fun. Just crouch. What? No, it's COD. I want to move around and get into gunfights. That's the whole point of the game. It's not a tactical. It's not a tactical shooter. You know? Oh boy, I don't know.
It doesn't take anything away from the years that I've spent in Call of Duty or playing this game or all the hard work that I put in. There's no way it doesn't just erase that. You know, my perspective on cheating though is it's gone way, way down. I don't know about you guys, but that's my perspective. I don't see even close to the amount of cheaters as I did back then. You know, so yeah, you see a lot of that, like, oh dude, they're investing into Tim and Nick instead of investing into the, you know, fixing the cheats. I mean, bro, the cheating is way down. So I don't know what the fuck those guys are talking about, man. I really don't. I've been playing this game a lot the past couple weeks. It's way down. I mean, I don't understand.
I'll never
you even run into cheat recently? Samir, we did last night. We definitely.
I think on one hand, giving Tim and Nick as a skin, giving them skins is cool. And it's not a step, because I remember seeing this. I saw this on Twitter a couple days ago. I think it was Nick saying, like, it's a step in the right direction. I can't say I agree with that, just because what direction is this a step in? Like, they get skins. Creators get maybe skins that they can make money off of it. That's cool. But how does this fix the game? You know? I wouldn't even call it them listening, because at the end of the day, Activision makes money off of this. They don't make money off of fixing the game necessarily. How does creators getting skins fix the like core issues with the game? That's my argument. That's just my thought.
To Apex. It was hilarious, but the cheating was so bad.
I think I remember that too, on the fucking roof, right? I do remember that actually. Yeah. Biffle and Hector kept seeing cheaters last night in ranked. It was nuts. I watched Biffle for like an hour and a half before bed. I didn't see a single cheater. But then again, I didn't watch this entire stream. We did bump into a cheater. Me and Schnee. We bumped into a cheater. He was wall hacking and chasing us around the whole time. But yeah. Do you think there could be anything to fix the stream snipers? No. You got a lot of people that are tuning into the stream. You're playing ranked into a fixed lobbies. It just is what it is. You're always gonna get stream sniped if you're a big time streamer. It's just how it is. Or if you're streaming your POV. It's not the same game anymore. Cheaters are a lot less. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough that the skin's coming out on the timeline that it is my point. Because if this thing came out 2 years ago, everybody would have been so happy about it. But now,
yeah, I agree. If this came out 2 years ago, it would have been different.
Landscape of the game, you know. There's a lot of people that are very upset with Call of Duty. And because they're so upset with COD, we're getting a lot of shit. You know, there's a lot of people that just are not happy that we're getting skins. But they've attached so many, like, different things to that. So many different things. They say it's because of this, or it's because of that, or it's because of this. Like, the cheating thing is crazy. Investing into Activision, like, Activision's hurting, and they need Tim and I to revive their game and put cash into their pockets. That's wild. I mean, that's wild.
I agree. Activision doesn't just go crazy because of their skins. Activision is a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, listen, these skins do nothing to their finances.
It's definitely good, and it's definitely a win to have creators like Tim and I playing the game every day. You know, so me going to Apex probably incentivized them a little bit to choose me, you know, to come back to play a little bit, to promote the skin, yada, yada.
So he's aware of it.
I'm not going to deny that, but.
This is why I don't like Duxerto. I think it might have been Duxerto that tweeted about this. It was one Twitter account, but all I saw was the clip, and that was where I got my take of how does this actually fix the game. And it wasn't a disrespectful take that I tweeted, but this is why it's good to watch things in literal full, because I don't know if the clip's from this, but you got to be careful with what information you see. I didn't rage about it because I knew for a fact that I didn't fully see the whole clip, but I just gave my perspective on what I saw. That being said, though, you got to really be careful before you form an opinion on anything, especially if you see something on Twitter. 100%.
About this idea that if they didn't do this, the game was going to tank, or I mean, that's fucking crazy. Tim and I are not going to save the game. Like, we're like, us getting skins is not going to like revive or just, you know, blow away all the bullshit. Listen, man, a lot of these smaller creators and people got it backwards, man. This is a very, very good thing for creators. It just kind of shows that Call of Duty is going to start doing some more of this stuff now. It's just a net positive, man. It's a good thing. These are things that you want games to do, man. You definitely want games, big time games, to incorporate creators, pay homage to esport organizations and stuff like that. Good things, man. It's good things.
I agree.
Yes. Tim and I are the first, and it is good for us, but it's also good for the community as well. This is a first step in a positive direction. And if people can't see it that way, then they're just hating, man.
I don't think they're just hating. I think people just want the game to be fixed first. I don't think it's hating at all. They just want the game to be fixed first before they start doing all this really cool cosmetic ad creator stuff. They just want the game to work and be fixed. It's kind of hard to be, I think, for a lot of people at least. I really, honestly don't give a fuck. But I think what it boils down to is a lot of people want the game fixed first before they can get super excited about creators getting skins and shit. Because it's just like, well, cool, you know, that benefits that person. How does it benefit me, the common guy that still runs in the cheaters? Not me specifically, but speaking from the perspective of another like viewer, how does that benefit me, the guy who plays this game and also runs into a lot of cheaters and stuff, or the game just doesn't feel right and feel good? How does, you know, a certain creator getting a skin benefit the mass? I don't think it's hating at all. It depends probably on how people are saying it. Some ways, some perspectives can come off as hating for sure. But I don't think not being happy about creators getting skins and seeing it in a positive light is necessarily a bad thing. I don't. Just because of the fact that there's so many fundamentally wrong issues with this game that people really don't care about creators right now. They don't care about us or the big ones, small ones, whatever. They just want the fucking game to work. And that's completely fair. I don't think that's hating at all. To be frank, I really don't care at this point. I don't know what they're going to do to Warzone. I doubt they're going to make any major changes. But I don't think people being upset about creators getting a bit of a, you know, special treatment, really, I don't think that's like them just blatantly hating. Because it's a positive for streamers again, but how does this benefit the community as a whole when the game still is a buggy, hacker-infested shithole, you know? It's like going to a really shitty bathroom and you've got that one clean toilet. And that toilet is really nice to sit on, it's comfortable, but the other toilets around you are loaded with shit. And you have to sit there and smell that. Like, well, this is great. You know, I can take a clean shit, but I have to smell shit the entire time. That's my thought on it.